guest lecture on the subject stress management by Dr. Krishnavir Abhishek Garu. With a legacy of authoring 175 books and 369 articles published, his work has transformed language teaching. Dr. Abhishek's impressive academic journey includes a PhD in linguistics, multiple master's degrees, and over 100 diplomas and certificates. Currently, he is a senior faculty at the All India Institute of Local Self-Government and director of the Center for Emotional Education Society, Visakhapatnam. His contributions have earned accolades from notable figures like former President Sri Ramnath Kovind and former Vice President Sri M. Venkaiah Naidu.
Post used to emotionally connect. We used to emotionally connect. During our childhood, whenever we received letters, the touch, the smell. Definitely with the advent of internet and social media, but still, I strongly believe that post, its authenticity and its relevance, it still connects people, and it has a long way to go. When we talk about communications, we have different types of communication. One is intrapersonal communication, where you talk to yourself and make decisions. You have interpersonal communication, where two people are involved in the communication process. You have group communication, where you have a group discussion. You have public communication, where one person takes the center stage and rest all are receivers of the message. So for example, I am taking the majority communication here, and you are just grasping and listening to the message I am about to deliver or I am currently delivering. And when it comes to when it comes to mass communication, you have mass media, electronic and print media. So mass communication happens when the sender and receiver are not at the immediate setting, right? So post is one medium which tries to connect the sender and the receiver who are not at the immediate setting. So definitely, it's one of the very important mass communication media, and I am very grateful to be part of this session. Thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity. Personality development, leadership, and communication skills. So personality development starts with self-introspection. Self-introspection means you have to introspect yourself, your likes, your dislikes, your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities and threats. Why? Because if you know your strengths, you can capitalize on them. If you know your weaknesses, you can work on your weaknesses. If you know your opportunities, you can capitalize on our opportunities. And if you know your threats, you will be vigilant. Children have become very, very sensitive. And it's upon us to teach them how to become strong and resilient. And instant gratification is also one of the reasons for stress. When you want something instantly, because in life, perseverance is very, very important. When we detach ourselves from the results, definitely we should work for the results, but you should detach yourself from the outcome. Then only you can learn from the outcome. Stress, it comes out from fear. What is fear? Fear is false evidence appearing real. So fear is completely different from fact. So because of fear, because of false evidence, because of the false inhibitions that you put in your mind, you're always fearful. So because of this false evidence, which is creating an illusion that this is a threat, that is stopping you. This is just a maya. This is just an illusion that is stopping you. And similarly, fail, F-A-I-L. Thomas Alva Edison, how many times he failed? So when someone asked him how many times, you failed so many times, what do you think about it? He said, F-A-I-L, fail is first attempt in learning. I have failed 1,000 times, let me fail 1,000 times, but I learned 1,000 ways of not making a bulb. So I learned lessons from every failure that made me strong. If you succumb to your failure, then you can never become strong. Seeing only success, we don't learn anything. Failure is something that teaches us a lot of lessons in life, especially pain.
pain of losing a loved one, pain of losing a job, pain of failing in the exam. It teaches you a lot of lessons that success cannot teach you. So if you can't handle stress, then you won't manage success. So there is a lot of stress that it has to undergo, the seed, the roots have to undergo in order for the plant to sprout up. If an egg is broken from outside, then a life is killed. If an egg breaks from inside, then a life sprouts out. So the stress from the inside, it actually is to make you better. What is Sat Chit Anand? Satyamu, Chaitanyamu, Anandam. Anand means happiness. What is the ultimate goal of life? Happiness, right? Why are we all here? Why have we taken break from our regular chores and assembled here in a conference hall, celebrating your success, getting awards? For happiness, to share happiness, to share joy. So mind is very, very important in Buddhism. There is something called Abhidhamma. Abhidhamma is a treatise on how to control your mind. Because your mind is the greatest missile that has to be controlled. Otherwise it can blast at any time. During olden days, IQ was given importance. What is IQ? Intelligence quotient. And now EQ is being given importance. EQ is emotional quotient. And maybe in the future, SQ might be given importance. That is spiritual quotient. కాగితంబునందు కలిగిన అక్షరాలు చదివినంత ధరణి చతురగున అక్షరంబునందు అర్థంబు నెరుగుచు చదివినట్టి వాడి చతురగును. What is stress? Stress is equal to pressure greater than resources. Remember this formula. Stress is equal to pressure greater than the resources that you have. So for example, you are given a task to do a documentary on today's program and you have to submit it by tomorrow morning. Okay? So you have maybe 6 to 7 hours left. So if time is a constraint, if you have less time in completing the task, so the resource is less, the pressure is more. So time is a resource, right? Your health is a resource. Sometimes you need to be healthy. So your health is a resource, time is a resource, knowledge is a resource. You need to have adequate knowledge to complete the task, to complete the project. So if your resources are less than the pressure, then definitely you will be stressed out. So we perceive situations as dangerous, difficult, but actually they are not. We definitely have the resources. I'll tell you, engineering students, 6 months course, they study in one night. Don't they have resources? They have all the eligibility, all the competence, because they're studying 6 months in one night. So definitely we have all the resources. So that should be our agenda, that should be our point of motivation. Then only we can cope with stress. So stress affects your mental, physical, emotional and behavior. Okay? Stress is a normal part of life. You can experience stress from your mind, from outside, from your body. There are a lot of stressors. Something which gives you stress is called a stressor. काल करे सो आज कर, आज करे सो अब, पल में परले हो गई, बहुरी करेगा कब. Means tomorrow's work, do it today. Today's work, do it now. Because we never know what will happen next. We can never predict what will happen next. Because you won't have that baggage at the last moment once you complete all your tasks. So stress makes you fight or flight. For example, if I ask you to run, you say, I can't run more than 1 kilometer. But, for example, if a dog is chasing you, suddenly you have the testosterone, you have the drive, you can run for 10 kilometers at a stretch. Stress, sometimes it motivates you to do some certain things, and stress also, it breaks you down. It depends on how you cultivate your mind. So what makes something stressful? situations that have very strong demands, situations that are imminent, that you can't avoid, life transitions. For example, if you go on to a different workplace, or the timing. For example, if you're working from 10 to 5 and suddenly you're put in night shift, it will be very stressful. Ambiguity, when there is confusion in your work. Desirability, when you desire too much too much expectations, and at the same time controllability, when you feel that you're not in control, also gives you a lot of stress. So there are two types of stress. One is eustress, the other one is distress. Eustress motivates you, distress breaks you. Eustress is basically, for example, you're graduating from a college, you're getting a degree, you're stressed because what next after BTech, what next after BA, what next after MBA. So you're stressed out, but it actually motivates you, that degree, though it stresses you, it also motivates you to do something great in life. And similarly, you're receiving a promotion. Receiving a promotion, it will look great on the paper, but you will have additional work, lot of people to manage, lot of new people to manage. Though it is stressful, it is motivating you to work harder. For example, you're getting incentives, performance appraisal, for example. You're getting all these awards. They'll motivate you to do something great, to prove yourself, to do something good for the organization. So this is eustress, which motivates you. You can also call it as positive stress. But there's also something called distress, negative stress, which breaks you down. It causes anxiety. It leads to shutdown. It makes you completely unproductive. So example of distress includes financial problems and conflicts in relation and excessive obligations. For example, you're suffering from a chronic illness, or you're experiencing a trauma. So because of which you get distress. For example, you lost a loved one, you are in financial problem, or you are managing a chronic illness. It sometimes demotivates you. He doesn't have 2 hands, he doesn't have 2 legs, he's happy, he swims, he leads his life to the best. Nick Vujicic is a very famous motivational speaker. He recently visited Andhra University. I'm a big fan. He sees disability as an ability. He sees the positive of it. So stress affects your body through fatigue, through headaches, through muscle spasms, through skin irritations, through frequent infections and breathlessness. So if you have these symptoms without any proper cause, it means that you might be under stress. If your body experiences any of these, and if you lose your confidence, if you're apprehensive about communication, if you're indifferent, you're depressed, you're irritable, frustrated always, and you have difficulty sleeping, you're stressed out emotionally. Sometimes because of substance abuse, you're addicted to a substance, be it cigar, be it alcohol, be it anything else, even coffee, even energy drinks. They're all substance abuses. You should never be attached to anything. Loss of appetite, if you're not hungry, if you don't feel hungry, and you're accident prone, you're restless, you're lonely, all these are behavioral changes. So if you have any of these, it means that you are in stress and you should get rid of it immediately. Because I strongly believe that we have a life, we live only once, we don't have a second chance, we should give it our best shot. One of my students, I asked my students, what do you want to become? One of my students said, I want to become the Prime Minister of India. And rest of the students were laughing at him. I said, why not? Why can't you aim to become the Prime Minister of India? At least you're eligible. If he says he wants to become President of the US, then we can laugh. Because if you want to become the President of the United States, you have to be born in the US. You can only become governor. You can't become the president if you're not born in the US. And during 2021, during the second wave, according to a study, it is estimated that majority of the people succumbed to COVID because of fear. the biggest enemy of your life, the biggest villain of your life is your mind, which actually stopped you from pursuing your dreams. So you have to tame this. Like how you train a dog, you have to train your mind. So there's a beautiful quote: don't just go through it, grow through it. When you get pain, it can be physical pain or mental pain. Don't just go through the pain, grow through the pain. And you can come out better or you can come out bitter. For example, your boss scolded you. You might be bitter about him, or you can become better. Maybe you can become better to prove yourself to the boss that you're worthy. Sometimes, when you look at your face in the mirror, when you look at your appearance in the mirror, it should motivate you. Attitude, seeing the positive sides, the experience side, the learning side of everything, and then taking breaks. Wait, pause, take break. No need to rush. Okay, stress management is life management. If you take control of your stress, then your life is under your control. You have mastered your life. If you have mastered stress, you have mastered life. So identify your triggers. What are the triggers that are causing you stress? Organize your time, because time management is very important, and address some of the causes that are causing the stress and accept the things that you can't change. Sometimes you can't change everything. Avoid caffeine, alcohol, nicotine. Get involved in physical activities. Get more sleep, at least 8 hours a day, and try out relaxation techniques. Talk with someone, do yoga, walk regularly, and sometimes saying no is also important. If you don't want to do it, if you can't do it, if you don't have the energy to do it, please say no. అన్నిటికీ ఎస్ చెప్పాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. అన్నిటికీ ఎస్ చెప్తే మీరు స్ట్రెస్కి కూడా ఎస్ చెప్పినట్టే. ఓకే, డోంట్ బి ఏ ఎస్ మ్యాన్. నెవర్ బి ఏ ఎస్ మ్యాన్. దిస్ ఈజ్ యువర్ లైఫ్, యువర్ బాడీ, యువర్ మైండ్. మీకు నచ్చితే చేయండి, నచ్చకపోతే చెయ్యవద్దు. సెల్ఫ్ కేర్. వాట్ ఈస్ సెల్ఫ్ కేర్? You focusing on your body, focusing on your mind, doing regular meditation. There's a beautiful meditation technique called Vipassana. Find a support system whenever you're stressed. Share your, నేను ఒక సినిమాలోనో ఎక్కడో ఒక మోటివేషనల్ టాక్లోనో ఎక్కడో చూశాను. ఆడవాళ్ళకి ఎందుకు స్ట్రెస్ ఉండదంటే వాళ్ళు అన్ని షేర్ చేసేస్తారు. మగవాళ్ళకి ఎందుకు స్ట్రెస్ ఉంటుందంటే వాళ్ళు ఏమీ షేర్ చేయరు. అందుకే ఆడవాళ్ళకి జుట్టు 90 ఏళ్ళు వచ్చినా నిలుస్తుంది, మనకి స్టార్ట్ అయిపోతుంది. సో ప్రయారిటైజ్ సెల్ఫ్ కేర్, సెట్ ఏ గోల్, make a plan, write it down, get support, reward action, reward yourself. If you have done something great, sometimes you don't wait for others to acknowledge your achievement. You can acknowledge your achievement yourself. మీరే ఒక సినిమా టికెట్ కొనుక్కుని సినిమాకి వెళ్ళిపోవచ్చు. You can buy yourself a treat. You need not wait for others. Finally, laugh. Use humor. Where the mind is without fear, and the head is held high. Where the mind is without fear, and the head is held high. Where knowledge is free, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where the words come out from the depth of truth, where the words come out from the depth of truth, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into that heaven of freedom. My Father, let my country awake. So, what is the meaning? Where the mind is without fear, అంటే ఎక్కడైతే మనసు భయాందోళనలో లేదో, ములిగి లేదో, and the head is held high, ఎవరికి తగ్గేదేలే. ఇప్పుడు రెండు చేతులతో తగ్గేదేలే. At the same time, it shouldn't make you boasty, or it shouldn't make you filled with pride. It shouldn't make you too much filled with pride. You should be humble. You should be grateful. You you should show gratitude. At the same time, झुकेगा नहीं साला. Okay, that is also very, very important. Okay, and where knowledge is free, in our Indian traditional system, in Gurukula system, if you see, Guru Dakshin em ichevaru? Guru Dakshin ante Guruku seva cheyadame. So knowledge has to be free. Nowadays, with the advent of internet and social media, in YouTube you have lot of resources to update yourself. Lot of online, massive open online courses to update yourself. That's why uttering truth is easy, but sometimes it is bitter, but better.
I saw the city passing by my window. Was in the crowd, but I felt so alone. Looked at my phone like every other second. My future was blurry and numb, a tunnel where there's no light. Oh, but then you came and sat right next to me. Your eyes, they glowed and filled me up. We had never met before that time, but I just knew that we'd end up. You took it.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Chiefs are felicitating you.